When you think of somebody who's brave, what image comes to mind? Most likely, it's probably somebody beefy and muscular, like some beefy and muscular people. Maybe it's somebody who is a war hero. Maybe it's somebody who jumped in front of a train to save somebody else's life. I grant you, those people are heroic. But sometimes heroism comes in packages you just would not expect.
I was always a really rebellious kid. I acted up at school, with family. I partied a lot. And when I was 15, I started dating girls. And continued to be in that lifestyle for the next 7 years. I had a lot of people speak out to me, but I ignored most of it. In April, some women that I work with started up a Bible study, and I work with my aunt, and she came to me and asked me if I would be a part of it. And I didn't want to make her have to tell them no. Her niece wasn't going to do it, and so I agreed to go. But told myself initially that the second someone said anything about my lifestyle, that I would leave and I would be done with it. I was at home reading our book, and it was talking about picking and choosing different religions, like different parts of it, and combining those and making it your religion. And it hit me that that's exactly what I was doing. First thing I did, like they were going to change somehow, was search for the verses on homosexuality and where I could bend them before, and I did, arguing against people, making them sound less concrete. I couldn't. They were black and white, and I realized I was wrong for the first time about something big like that, and it kind of shook me. I knew that I was going to leave my room either a Christian, like a real surrendered Christian, or I was going to be an atheist that rejected the God of the Bible entirely. And I clung to him. I was scared. And I knew that he had died for me. Like, everything came together at one time. Like, this is what they were talking about. This is what they meant. This is why he had to die for me. This is how it affects me now. And I was grateful. I felt awful that for the first 22 years I'd acted like that. I felt awful that I'd ignored him and that I had made my own decisions. I acted like that and called myself a Christian while doing it. And he gave me mercy anyway. So now I'm talking to as many people as I can, contacting friends, the ones that are still, accepting phone calls. And I'm going to school to be a biblical counselor so I can help other people. He saved me from more than just me. I'm not going to waste any of that. So I'm going to let him get the most glory for it by talking to as many people as I can. Because he is bigger and he is better than any sin. And he is enough.
And that is about as sweet as it gets. Why did God make Emily Satterfeld? Why did she struggle with those desires? Well, we live in a fallen world. We're all broken in our own ways. And God is willing to save any and all of us who come to him in repentance and faith so that he can be glorified for saving Emily Satterfeld and even for saving you. That is why I would like to encourage you, if you happen to be like Emily Satterfeld, perhaps you struggle with homosexuality. Perhaps you actually struggle with something that you would consider to be worse. Perhaps you actually think, oh, if only I only had homosexual desires. Maybe it's for little children. Maybe it's for animals. And you think, yikes, there is no way that God can forgive me. If you have ever attended a church and you have been given the impression that Jesus didn't die for each and every stripe of sinner, no matter what it is, no matter what level of perceived depravity, then I'm sorry, because you did not hear the glorious good news of the gospel, which says Jesus saves sinners. In fact, Jesus saves really bad sinners. How do I know? Because Paul called himself the chief of sinners, was actually involved, complicit in the murdering of Christians. And yet he says, but God saved me so that you can know that he can save you too. If you have thought you can never come to Jesus because you are too dirty, then you need to hear that Jesus is willing to forgive you if you will come to him today in repentance and faith.